Alt-J, Breezeblocks, guitar lesson and guitar tabs. Let's play through all the different sections right at the start here. After that, I'll go back through and tell you what's going on with some in-depth explanation. Before we get into the video, pretty please hit the subscription button. Gives me a good idea that you're enjoying this type of stuff and I should do more. Now, let's get on into the lesson. So we have this initial riff, and I'm kind of combining the bass and the guitar, I guess. So if it's too difficult, you can split it up. It's up to you. But I like to put it together. It's a bit of a stretch at the start here. We want an F, and I suppose you can even like drop tune to make this a little easier. But I'll just do it in standard. So we want this F, the first fret of the E, and then we need this A note here at the 5 of the high E. Okay, so like I said, you can either just split it up and just hit that, or just do the bass, up to you. But you definitely want that. And then we hit the bass note once again, slide it up to 5 now, things get a little closer together. So 5 on the low E, and with that we want to hit the 8 on the high E. Alright, and then we'll hit the bass note again at the 5, then we end up at 10s on both. Okay. Right, and with this, we want to hit this little extra bass note where we just hit an open A and then land right back on the 10 with the 10. So 10s and 10s. And at the very end of it, we just do this quick little 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 10. Once we get to our second verse, we get a cool little, it sounds like a guitar, maybe with a little bit of reverse effect on it, that just layers over the top of the verse of what's usually going on, our regular progression. And it's just this cool little scaling up. We come on up to here with the 12 on the D, hit a 14 G back to 12 D, 15 on that D, back off to 12, 14 G, and that's essentially the little bit that we're going to repeat. We cap it off the first time by coming up and hitting this little bit where it's 15 on the B with a 13 E. And that's the part that kind of sounds like it comes in like reversed. Alright, so we repeat that again. And we finish it the second time by just doing 12s on the A and D. We continue our cool little verse 2 riff as usual. Then we start to repeat it again. We get all the way up to that 15 on the D, but then it drops down and we hit a 15 on the B, then a 17 E, and then 13 E. And at this point, this next progression here, we can just basically follow the bass. Sounds cool to make it a little power chord action here if you want. But basically we're just be here at the F, and we're just 8th note strumming this now. Take it up to the 5, We got our 5 and 7 there. And then we drop it down to a D. Alright, so the 5A with the 7 on the D. Alright, and then we add this extra little note now where we come up to an E at the 7 and 9 just for like one little beat. And then up to the 8 for the F at the 8 and 10. Okay, so we went for our F, then an A minor, D, then a quick E, back to F. And the next time through that progression, everything stays the same. We just change the dynamic of that final F, where we get up to it, we just hit it once. There's a little break there, and then once more again. Kind of follows that little vocal pause there. Into the following verse, we get these cool little chime notes, tones that come in. And it's just playing around in a little scale here. We could drop it down here. We're at the 2G, hit a 3B, quick 1, 3B. Okay, and then we come down, we hit a 1E, then we do a 3, 1, 3B. Alright, drop back down, do a 1E, 3B, 1E. Hit the 3E, and then a quick 1, 3E. And then we hit our 1, 2, 3, 4 D notes. Second part of those chime tones comes up a little higher now. We'll be in this spot where we're at the 8 and the 10s. We go at 8E, 10B, 8E. Land on 10E once more. Then we do 10 to 8E, 10B, back to the 10E. So we went. And then cap it off with our 4 D notes. Then there's a short little transitional thing that I figured I'd throw in there. It's basically just a little bass segue, and it's not doing much. It's just basically hitting this 3, the G note here on the E, holds it for a moment, and then just slides it down to F. And that'll take us into our new progression here. So the outro riff here kind of starts on this middle D now. And we just strum it out about, 7 times here. Hit the 3 on the D. Hit 3 2s on the G. Back to a 3D. And then 4 of the 2s on the G. Right, then we land on this F now. Back up to the 1 and the 3 on the D. And with this, we just want the octaves so you can keep the A string quiet. And then there's a little thing that comes over the top of that where we get this A sharp to A. So we can just make that pretty easy here. Kind of like we're making an F chord now. We just strum it out 3 times, with that 3 on the G now. And make it a 2. And the second variation we get of that progression, everything's the same. Just at the end we don't really do the G 3 to 2. We just leave that out, and we just narrow it all down to like that 1 F on the middle D here, and just keep it. And towards the end of the song, we kind of switch back to our normal progression there. I think the A minor gets a little more A. No big deal. We'll just do it like this now. Basically playing around with this octave on the F, the 1 and 3, just kind of bounce between it once, and then a few more times a little quicker. Slide up to this new thing, which is just part of like an A chord. Slide up to 5 on the E, and then bounce between a 4 on the A. Right, and then just make them all 5, so we get part of the D now. And we hit our quick little E beat here at the 7s on the E and the A. And then just land on 8s and go between those for the F. Please help out the channel. Hit that subscription button. I'm coming out with tons of videos and you don't want to miss them.